Have you ever wondered what would happen if you ended a relationship and moved on? Stay tuned to learn a 3-card spread that can help and how a woman made that decision. Hi everybody, I'm Sue Ellen Clayton. Welcome to my channel where we're learning how to read tarot one card at a time. In today's video, we'll be using a 3-card stay, leave advice spread to look at a woman's relationship with her boyfriend. We're hoping to answer her question, should I end the relationship and move on? I will be using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and there is a link below. This question was posted anonymously online by a woman who I will call Hazel. Hazel doesn't give any information beyond the question, should I end the relationship and move on? Hazel did not say that she used a spread, but I will be using the stay, leave advice spread to look at her relationship. Card number 1 is the stay position and represents what Hazel will experience if she chooses to stay in her relationship. Hazel drew the Knight of Wands. Card number 2 is in the leave position and reflects what Hazel will experience if she moves on from her relationship. Hazel drew the Four of Wands. And card number 3 is in the advice position. This card gives guidance about what is Hazel's best course of action for her highest good, which I assume means a happy and fulfilling life. Hazel drew the Two of Wands. I'll begin by talking about my first impressions. The first thing I noticed is that this reading is entirely the suit of wands. Wands are linked to the element of fire and are all about taking action. That makes sense as it is a very action-oriented question. Does she stay or leave? However, it is interesting that this is a reading about Hazel's relationship, so I would expect to see at least one cup to signify love and emotion. Nope. It seems like this relationship is all about doing things. In the first card, the Knight is holding a single wand. In the middle, we see 4 wands holding up the structure, and in the right-hand card, we see 2 wands. The men in the 2 outside cards are facing to our left, which is the past. They are also alone. The women in the middle card are facing toward us. The cards also go in descending order, so we start with the highest rank on the left with the Knight and end up with the 2 on our right. All 3 cards are outdoors and in good weather. There is a castle and lush grounds in the 2 right-hand cards. In the left card, we see a desert background and no houses. So let's look at each card individually. Card number 1 is the stay position and represents what Hazel will experience if she chooses to stay in her relationship. And Hazel drew the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands can represent someone who has incredible energy, confidence, and passion, but doesn't always stop to think about the consequences of what they are doing. I think that Hazel's relationship with the Knight would be characterized by passion, excitement, and adventure. I see this as a very intense relationship where the couple will go from love to hate to passionate make-up sex in the course of about an hour. When their relationship is good, it is fabulous. When it's bad, Hazel feels like she's in the depths of despair. The downside of the Knight of Wands is that he can be very impulsive and inconsistent. That definitely keeps things exciting, but since Hazel is considering leaving, I don't feel that it is the right fit for her. I picture the Knight as meeting her at the door after work on Friday with plane tickets to a Taylor Swift concert, and then refusing to speak to her for the entire weekend because he didn't like the way she smiled at the ticketing agent. We can see that the Knight is excited and hot-headed. We see a red horse that is moving quickly. We also see flames decorating his helmet and armor. He has red hair, and it's clear that he has a fiery personality. The Knight of Wands is wearing armor over almost his entire body, so he's not somebody who it's easy to get close to. His yellow tunic is covered with a salamander motif. Salamanders were falsely believed to be fireproof and represented good luck and protection. The fact that their tails are not in their mouths indicate that this Knight is not yet mature. The Knight is also holding a wand with 5 buds. This makes me think of the 5 of Wands, which is a card about fighting and chaos. I think that if Hazel stays with her boyfriend, her life would make a great reality TV show because it has a lot of ups and downs. However, if she doesn't want adventure, impulsivity, and drama, it is not a good relationship for her at this time. Card number 2 is in the Leave position and reflects what Hazel will experience if she moves on from her relationship. Hazel drew the Four of Wands. In the first and third cards, we see someone who is alone. In the Four of Wands, we see Hazel with a loving partner and as part of a community. This is a card about happiness, commitment, and celebrations. The Four of Wands often signifies a marriage, as we can see a couple on the stage with the structure covered in flowers. It shows Hazel in a committed relationship and supported by the people around her. Although she was dating in the previous card, she was on her own. Now she was no longer alone. We see a lot of foliage in this card, which is in stark contrast to the desert environment in the previous card. Greenery represents growth and abundance. This indicates that Hazel will continue to grow and blossom in her new life. This card also signifies stability. The number 4 in tarot is about stability, and we can remember this because a table has 4 legs and is very stable. Behind the couple, we see a large castle, and homes in tarot also represent stability. Once again, this is in sharp contrast to the previous card where we just see a rider and a horse. This card is yellow to signify happiness. It looks like life will be good for Hazel if she moves on from her current relationship. We see her in a stable, happy place where she's met a loving partner and is surrounded by community. You've made it this far in the video, and I wanted to stop and ask for a favor if you're not already a subscriber, and that is to please hit the subscribe button. It is free for you, and it will also help me grow this channel. Plus, it means that you won't miss anything. Thanks so much, and if you're already a subscriber, I truly appreciate your ongoing support. Now let's get back to the video. Card number 3 is in the advice position and gives guidance about what decision Hazel should make. Hazel drew the Two of Wands. In the Two of Wands, we see Hazel having to make a choice. She is holding on to one of the wands with her left hand. Her left hand is controlled by the right side of her brain and represents intuition and emotions. I think that this represents Hazel's life in the Four of Wands, which is happiness and community, which is something that she intrinsically knows is good for her. The other wand has been put aside and she's not even thinking about it, so I don't think that she has any feelings for the Knight in the first card. However, in Hazel's right hand, we see the World. This is the logical side of her body, and I feel like it represents the adventures that she would experience with the Knight. There is still some appeal to an exciting, passionate life with the Knight. They could travel the world together, which is more exciting than the stability we see in the middle card. Hazel is looking somewhat longingly to the past and likely remembering the good times. However, if we look closely, Hazel is actually looking at the wand in her left hand and not at the world. So I think that she knows that she is choosing the stable, happy life that is the best course of action for her. I thought this was an interesting reading about whether Hazel should end her relationship or move on. I think the answer was clear that she should move on. With the Knight of Wands, we see her in a passionate and exciting relationship, but the downside is that the Knight is hot-headed, inconsistent, and immature. The good times are great, but the downside is that she can also be lonely and miserable. This contrasts with the other choice, which is moving on to something new. Here we see her in a happy, stable situation with a loving partner and opportunity to grow. I truly hope that Hazel decided to follow the advice in the cards and that she ended her relationship and moved on to happier times. I hope that this video gave you some ideas that you can apply to your tarot practice. Please leave a comment if you'd like to share what you learned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.